welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna get right into it. It's gonna be a touchy subject. We're gonna talk about domestic abuse and also emotionally and physical abuse, especially in the music industry. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Today we're talking about LIRA Galore and quality control manager P. Now, LIRA is alleging that P was physically abusing her throughout the entire 8 months of her pregnancy. So I wanted to discuss 3 main topics as we get into this allegation. Number 1, the background history of their relationship as individuals. Number 2, domestic abuse within the music industry. And then number 3, how do we find self-love? How do we heal from such tragic events? Like, comment, subscribe. So background information about LIRA Galore. She's actually 26 years old, born August 31st, 1993 in Houston, Texas. Her parents are Michelle Galore and Terrence, and her father was not present in her life at a very young age. In fact, he lived just 3 stops away, but was never present in her life. However, she did succeed in school. She was a scholar in high school as well as in college, being raised by her mother and grandmother. Throughout high school, at the age of 14, she did start dating, and she happened to get pregnant. However, throughout different websites that I've looked up information of LIRA, it is alleging that she had a miscarriage or possibly an abortion during that time. I'm leaning more so to it probably was a miscarriage that took place. However, that did not deter her in getting her high school diploma and going to college. At age 18, she became a dancer, and that is when she started her career, and it skyrocketed into social media success. Now let's get into the dating history of LIRA Galore. She dated Justin Bieber, Pat Beverly, Rick Ross, who she was actually engaged to, but they cut off, or they broke off the engagement. And lastly, P, Coach P, quality control. Now let's get into the background information of Pierre P. Thomas, quality control's founder, manager. P is 38 years old. He was born June 7th in 1981 in Atlanta, Georgia. Grew up in an average middle-class family with both parents in the household who supported his career endeavors. He actually started another music company, but it did not go prosperous. Then in 2013, I believe, that is when he started Quality Control. And now Quality Control is the #1 music company that's thriving in the hip hop industry with the likes of Migos, Lil Baby, City Girls, and we all know that P is the management company of Cardi B. His net worth is around $50 million. Now, when trying to find information about P, there wasn't a lot of information out there. And I think that just goes to show you, when you are higher up in the food chain of success, there's least likely for things to leak out about you, probably due to NDAs and all of that. So now let's get into the relationship between LIRA and actually P. So P actually engaged to LIRA, and she was actually pregnant at the time. However, when she was pregnant, another person came out and stated that they were also pregnant with P's child at the exact same time. And I believe her name is I believe her name is Kaylar Hill. When Lyra revealed to the world on social media that she was actually pregnant, she did not acknowledge P as the father, probably due to the information that she found out about Kaylar. It was until P actually posted a picture of Lyra stating that he was the father of her child. However, later on, he ended up deleting and taking down that post. Now, Lyra is actually suing P for $15 million due to the domestic abuse that she was having during the 8 months throughout her pregnancy of Khaleesi. This report is mainly coming from Complex and TMZ.com. She is stating that he allegedly beat her upon multiple times, and she goes into detail about 5 particular beatings that occurred to her consecutively. This is the part where it's gonna get a little touchy. She states that he, multiple times during her pregnancy, carrying her child, that he punched her in the face, he choked her, he kicked her and punched her in the head multiple times, that she received knots in her head. Another altercation is that he was trying to grab for her finger and pulling off the engagement ring, he dislocated her finger. Another incident, she states, in August 2018, he tried to make things right by buying her a $50,000 car, SUV. However, 2 weeks later, he broke the driver's side window, probably trying, this is my assumption, she probably was trying to get away, probably trying to leave the scene after he was getting enraged, and he broke the window, forcing her to try to get out the car. He then ended up changing the title out of her name into his name, taking the car away. Then later, trying to apologize and offering her $50,000 in order for her not to call the police. And this is the part of the story where I admire her for coming out and actually admitting these things have happened to her, because we know people who have actually been abused. Sometimes they never come forward, they never tell their story, especially in situations like this. But an average person who's been abused in their life, they never ever come forward and admit these things and actually have proof and courage to come out. So I definitely commend her for doing that, because not a lot of people have that type of courage to come forward. However, she's suing him. She's not pressing charges. Is it because she took that $50,000 for him not to call the cops? And I understand definitely she needs to fight for sole custody of her baby. Definitely. She deserves that. And she deserves that $15 million as well. But she also, if she really wants things to change, she has to call and press charges on him, because that's the only way this won't happen to someone else. Number 2, how many times have we seen or we've heard incidents like this in the music industry? These big, powerful CEO, music execs getting into situations like this. And it's all allegedly. But I mean, Suge Knight, physical domestic abuse with Michelle A. Diddy, physical abuse allegedly towards women. Is it due to the power that they have? Is it due to the money and this like godlike complex of why they continue to do this? Or does it go much deeper? Something within them, some type of rage, some type of control that they need to go out and do harm to others in this way. So the sole reason why she is suing him is because she definitely wants sole custody of her child. He's trying to fight for joint custody, but she's stating, in quote, that he demonstrated physically violent, emotional, abusive, irrational, and erratic behavior. And she actually wants a psychological evaluation on him. So this case is ever evolving because it just came out later last week. So we'll see what's going to happen. Definitely, she should not settle out of court. She should get what's due to her. Will she, in fact, get the true sole custody? Because we all know when people have money, that doesn't mean that they are the right ones to get the true justice. So we're gonna see if she truly gets that sole custody of her child and the protection that she needs. And lastly, number 3, I wanna talk about self-love. You have to find the love within yourself before we get into these relationships, especially with successful men. LIRA, she was searching for this love, and she probably truly believed she could save him, that he would stop, that he meant sorry, that he would never do it again. But obviously certain things are out of your control. Certain things you cannot put a grasp on, and you just have to walk away. So finding the love within yourself, that is what we need to be instilling. And I'm not for certain, but people in the music industry need to speak out. They need to say something. Why hasn't anyone spoken out about these allegations? I'm pretty sure people knew about this incident or about P's rage or how he treats women. So I question the people on his record label. Why have they not spoken out and said something about this behavior not being tolerated? Especially people who have children in the music industry. They wouldn't want that to happen to them during their pregnancy. We have to speak out. I'm not saying the people on the music industry or the people that are on P's music label are responsible for it. I'm just saying we need to advocate for positive role models who speak out when something is wrong. He can be a wonderful music exec, but also he should be accountable for his actions. And if it is true that he did do these things, people have to speak out. People have to say enough. I hope you liked this episode. Make sure you like, comment, and definitely subscribe. That's what it's all about, subscribing, so you can always make sure you check in to my next and latest video. Until next time.